Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I was gonna say corner of the internet, but well, it's fine. I don't know, I'm very awkward. Today we're doing the year in review questions because at the time of filming, this is still in January. Hopefully I get this out before the month ends. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through a couple questions I picked up and answer them. I don't know if there's an official tag you're supposed to do for them. I'm not sure. I just googled like year-end questions and stuff, and I just picked ones that I thought were good, and I put them together. I don't know how many I chose. I don't have answers to all of them either, which is silly, but I'm hoping the more which is really silly. But whatever, let's just do it. So first question, best book you read this year. Best book I read this year, best book that came out this year that I read. Probably the second question. So the best book that came out this year that I read was, what was it? I believe Kingdom of Copper. Yes, that's the one that came out in 2019 by S.A. Chakraborty, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. It is the second book in the Jinn series, the Deva Bod trilogy. And when I tell you Kingdom of Copper was good, Kingdom of Copper, oh wait, hold on. I have her actually. Kingdom of Copper is so good that I bought both books and I'm planning on rereading them to tab them or try typing them and then do a series on them later because I just love them so much. Kingdom of Copper ended so good. The third act twists was just amazing. Anyways, book you were excited about and thought you were going to love more but didn't. So last year I read 33 books according to my phone. I might have read more, but I don't remember. Priest of Lies. So the Priest of Bone and Priest of Lies duology books by Peter McLean, they're actually pretty good. I was reading the first one. If you've ever seen Peaky Blinders, actually you would like that. You would love the series because the main character reminds me a lot of Tommy from the series. The main character, he's very he's a soldier that came back from this war that they all fought in and came back to his city where he was his family controlled the city. But since they've been gone, it's kind of gotten to, the operation's gone into disrepair. So he basically ends up starting out to try and reclaim his family's influence and stuff in the city. And it's really, really interesting, the first book. The second book is also really interesting. But when I tell you this is not a traditional hero's journey, because he was never a good guy to begin with. He was just a very interesting character to follow. So I read the books. But by the time I got to the end...
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
I was really upset. I won't go into it unless, I don't know, maybe I do a video on it at some point. Maybe. But Priest of Lies just really upset me by the time I was finished. I just really didn't like the way it ended. I felt like I was played. I felt like a fiddle. Even just thinking about it. Anyways, moving on. Most surprising book that I read in a good way. Kingdom of Cop. It's her. It's her. It's her again. That's it. The book I pushed to most people to read and they did. Her. It's her. It's always her, okay? It's her. Favorite new author you discovered this year? Okay. Best book from a genre that you don't typically read or was out of your comfort zone. Like I mentioned earlier, the Priest of Bone book was really, really good. I really liked it a lot. The first one was really, really good. By Peter McLean. And then another good contender for it would be Prince of Fools by Mark Lawrence, I believe. That book was really good as well. I would categorize both of those as I think like dark fantasy or not new adult, maybe new adult, I'm not exactly sure, but like I don't really read stuff because remember my main thing was usually like YA novels or like yeah, just YA fantasy in general, and those were a lot darker and I really enjoyed them. Prince of Fools is about this prince named Jalinth, I believe, who is like the like in the double digits of like in line to be prince. So really he's just prince in name, and he goes around doing a bunch of dumb stuff, but then one day he ends up targeted by this spell that goes wrong and ends up binding him to this guy named Snorri. So now the both of them end up having to go on this quest because the two parts of the spell are pulling them towards a certain goal. And it's really funny. It's also a no romance book if you're into that. Like there's no love interest for... Okay, my camera died and I wasn't aware, and I finished the video and it stopped in the middle of a question, so here I am again. I'll just go on to the next one. Favorite cover of a book you read this year. My favorite cover was Queen of Nothing. Yes, Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I almost said Sarah J Maas, but that's not... different Faye. I really like the cover because I love covers where you pick them up because they're pretty, because the cover is really pretty objectively. And then you read the book and then you look at the cover again and you're like, oh, I see, you know? Not only is it pretty, but throwbacks. Which is funny because I didn't even really like that book that much, honestly. Like, I liked Cruel Prince and, what was it? Wicked King, I believe. But Queen of Nothing, I didn't really love that ending. Beautiful book though. Beautiful gowns.
Taylor Swift.
Okay, great gowns, beautiful gowns.
Shortest and longest book I read. Shortest book would have been Opal. The Six of Crows. Six of Crows.
Nope.
The the Raven Cycle short story. Oh my gosh. And my longest is Kingdom of Copper. Kingdom of Copper is about like 600 pages or more. Yeah, a little bit over 600 pages, and Opal is about 40, I think. One of my questions is OTP of the year, but I don't have one. I just don't. Most unique book you read would be either Silver in the Wood or The Bear and the Nightingale. I really like The Bear and the Nightingale because first of all, let me not say that actually. I just really liked the writing. The writing style was really wonderful, and I loved the imagery and just, what's his name? Oh, I'm not sure what his name is anymore. It was a while ago. I forgot his name. But the Winter Demon, sir, he was fine. He was so fine. Do you know how frustrated I was? It doesn't matter. But anyways, it was a good book. I really liked it. I really liked the main character too. She felt very, I don't know, I just loved her energy. One book you didn't get to this year, but is a priority for you for next year. Gods of Jade and Sorrow, by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I really want to read that one because the premise sounds super interesting to me. And I meant to read it, but I just didn't. So it's in my list of things I want to read before Empire of Gold comes out. I'm reading Haunting of Hill House right now, but because it requires like my complete attention to actually read, just because the prose is kind of not blocky, but it's up there and my brain cells are not, so it takes me a little bit to like read it. I might move it up on the timeline just because I don't want to not read it. I don't want to miss it. It seems like a really interesting book. A book you're most anticipating for next year, that would be Empire of Gold. Chakraborty, she has me. She's got it.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done.
She has my money and my attention. And one thing, last question. One thing I hope to accomplish in my reading and blogging life, I have a Goodreads book goal of 40 books this year. It's not a lot, but I don't like to overestimate. And I only read 33 last year, so, you know. And in my blogging life, I just want to continue to put out videos. That's it. I just want to keep working on this little channel. And that's all. That was my 2019 in review, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.